The next Assassin's Creed is not going to be called Ragnarok. We learned last year that this Viking Assassin's Creed is in development under the codename Kingdom, thanks to Kotaku after I highlighted the Division 2 poster here on the channel. So Kingdom is what Ubisoft internally calls it, but we kind of assumed that then the real name would be Ragnarok. Well, that turns out to be false. There is another theory though for a pretty cool name, I quite like it, we will go over that. And we got some other interesting news and rumors that once again point at an imminent reveal. So let's get into it, a like on the video would be really appreciated, and let's go. But first, let's touch on the new sponsor of this video that helps the channel out a lot. It's the Mighty Quest for Epic Loot mobile game from Ubisoft that is perfect for short sessions. Like the many dungeons filled with different enemies can be completed in 1 or 2 minutes depending on how fast you are, and the boss fights can be challenging, but if you are successful then you progress the game and find even better loot. There are a ton of weapons and armor sets to collect, including gear sets based on familiar Ubisoft characters like the Raider from For Honor is available right now. I played this game now for 20 hours and it's still great to hop back in, slay some monsters, perfect my build, and they keep adding content as well on a regular basis, like a completely new act was added recently and also the guild feature. And go to the guild tab and then search the JorRaptor's guild that I just made, and I will accept the first 30 people so we can play together. So totally check out the game via the special link in the video description. Thanks again to Mighty Quest for sponsoring the video, and now let's get back into it. Is it coincidence that they are doing a Viking event right now in the Mighty Quest? They could have done every faction of For Honor, but they choose the Vikings. Maybe that also has to do with the new Assassin's Creed. Of course, just speculation, I don't think the two are connected, but it's interesting nevertheless. No, but we recently talked about the fact that the leaks were out of control. Like, we got a lot of big ones, including one on 4chan that seemed to have mashed a lot of things together from previous rumors. And I think he might have looked at some things that we discussed here on the channel as well, like the name Jorah and the September 29th release date that was leaked thanks to a German retailer. Maybe that was planned at one point, or maybe it was never planned for that date. Either way, I don't think it will launch there anymore. Especially now that Cyberpunk is launching on September 17th, so you don't want to release a big open world game around that time. And actually after that video, ZugX or Daniel Ahmed, one of the most credible insiders out there, chimed in with what he had heard and indeed confirmed that all of the new, so recent AZ leaks so far have been incorrect. It's not even called a Ragnarok. And Daniel has been right many times before. He, for example, confirmed that the Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag and Rogue Remastered leak for the Switch was real when it appeared on a random retailer. He also confirmed in November 2019 that we should not expect anything Splinter Cell related soon, something that Jason Schreier has been pretty upfront about as well. And Daniel also said that the Last of Us Part 2 media event in September wasn't the only Sony event that week, and then we indeed got a state of play as well. Just one of the many things that shows you that he knows his stuff, very likely meaning that the next Assassin's Creed will not be Assassin's Creed Ragnarok. And we were actually never sure that this would be the name, like it just sounded awesome, and also thanks to concept art that appeared in early 2018, so right after Origins came out, when Ubisoft Montreal likely went straight into this next one. So it made sense that a concept artist at Ubisoft would explore some ideas around the time, and he posted this art actually online, and when you try to open it, you saw that the name was actually Michel Nucera, so the name of the artist, and then Assassin Creed Ragnarok Bay 09. Maybe it was called Ragnarok at some point, or Michel liked that name so he used it for his art, but that is where we got that Assassin's Creed Ragnarok idea. So now really anything is possible. We already discussed this during my recent weekly Monday stream over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/JorRaptor. Follow me there if you haven't already, where I like to play Origins now every Monday. And the chat already came up with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Assassin's Creed Mjolnir. My favorite option though is a theory from Spanish YouTuber Raviti, and I will post a link to his channel in the video description. If you are Spanish, totally check him out. He made a case for Assassin's Creed V, or Vive in Roman numerals, of course. And this makes sense on multiple levels. Ubisoft stopped numbering Assassin's Creed games after Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, so going with 5 would make some sort of sense, right? Because 4 was the final number that they used, and V of course also stands for Vikings. And actually the TV show Vikings does something similar with its logo as well, having the big V. I've, by the way, been watching this show and it's pretty awesome. If anything, it gets you really hyped for a game set in this world and the many possibilities for awesome combat encounters and also assassinations. And they really highlight a lot of Viking traditions that I totally expect to see in this new game too. I really can't wait for the reveal, and the creative director Ashraf Ismail can't wait to show what he is working on, and he's very likely working on this next Assassin's Creed. 2020 is going to be an incredible year, know it, believe it. That was his first tweet of 2020. He was of course a director on both Origins and Black Flag, so that Ubisoft Montreal team continuing with Assassin's Creed 5 after they also made Assassin's Creed 4. I can see it happen, and I'm really curious to hear what you think the name of the next AC game will be, or what you hope it will be, keeping in mind that it will very likely be a Viking game. And now this is interesting as well, because over on NeoGAF we got Osiris Black, a member who had some credible info on the PS4 Pro way before that console was revealed. This was in March 2016, while Sony revealed the PS4 Pro in September 2016. And then launched it in November of that year. So almost 6 months before the reveal, Osiris Black said that the price would be $400, that not every game would get upgrades and that it would be up to the devs. And sure, the 4K Blu-ray player is not true, maybe they changed that, but still this post was made when we knew very little of the PS4 Pro, so it could be that this person has some sort of links to retailers. Either way, he now states that inside the GameStop system, they have a SKU for the PlayStation 5 and also for some games. So Resident Evil 8 was recently rumored, Godfall, that Gearbox published game, that looks pretty cool actually. And he also notes that inside this internal GameStop system, there's a SKU for Assassin's Creed. It does not say Ragnarok or Kingdom, but it is implying that there is a new Assassin's Creed in the very near future. And this is kind of similar to that Walmart Canada leak you might remember before E3 2018, where a ton of games, including just Assassin's Creed, was leaked, and this was before we knew that Assassin's Creed Odyssey was actually a thing, because Ubisoft announced it a few weeks later at E3. So if this leak is legit, then it seems like GameStop is expecting an announcement for a new Assassin's Creed pretty soon. And AC4 Black Flag was actually shown on the Sony stage at E3 to highlight the power of the PS4 before it came out. And this really worked out for Ubisoft, because Black Flag shipped 10 million units in 2 months, and a next-gen version really helped with that. So I totally see them want to push this new Assassin's Creed as an awesome next-gen launch game as well, while it will of course still be available on the PS4 and Xbox One. So yeah, a reveal during a next-gen hardware event just makes a ton of sense, and those could be pretty soon. End of February soon, or maybe March already. But yeah, that will be after the Ubisoft financials though, and we already discussed this before, because I think there's a chance that Ubisoft will at least already mention the new Assassin's Creed during this financial call on February 6th. And during this call they will talk about their previous quarter, so from October till the end of December 2019, and then discuss what is ahead. Although it's not a surprise that because of the disappointing sales of Ghost Recon Breakpoint and the missing legs of The Division 2, that they will post some very bad numbers compared to the previous years. They already warned everyone in October 2019 about this, and then they were already forced to talk about the future to assure their investors that things will get better during the next financial year, with 5 AAA releases between April 2020 and March 2021. So yes, I will of course listen to this financial report and also make a video on it when we hear something interesting, because I totally expect some Watch Dogs Legion inside there too, and again a mention of the new Assassin's Creed. I can see it happen. And that would be the first time that Ubisoft officially acknowledges that a new Assassin's Creed is indeed coming. I can't wait. Looking at all the recent rumors we discussed here on the channel, a reveal could be very close. Of course, nothing is confirmed, but I'm holding my fingers crossed. You can't see it, but I'm really doing it right now. I will be the first to tell you here on the channel, so totally subscribe for everything on Assassin's Creed 5. I actually like the sound of that. I'm curious to hear your names in the comments down below. A like would be really appreciated. And if you want early access to these big Sunday videos, like without any ads and also without the sponsors that I sometimes do, then totally hit the join button next to the subscribe button. You support me in that way, help me improve the channel. It's optional, but it does help me out. I got 2 nice videos up that you totally want to watch. If you haven't already, one on massive changes inside Ubisoft that are happening, and one on Watch Dogs Legion and what is going on with that game. Hopefully I will be back really soon with some info from that financial call. I really am curious. For now though, I will speak to you next time. Keep it locked to the channel, and goodbye.